Hey, what's up everybody? Good morning. I wanted to do a quick review on this wrestling belt that just got in. Sorry about my voice, I just woke up. So yeah, this is the WWF scratch logo Big Eagle 2000-2001 version. Well, it's the third version. It's the white scratch logo. The one before this was the black logo. Second one was the gold scratch, and the third and final, of course, was the white scratch, which is my personal favorite. I've always wanted a Big Eagle. I had a big gold, and I've said that was my grail belt. It was my #1 belt of all time, but this was always kind of right under it. But kind of recently, like, depending on which belt I have in front of me, one becomes my #1, one becomes my #2. It's just depending on what belt's in front of me. I like them both probably equal for about different reasons. With this belt, though, it's just the history of it, the time, the era of when this belt came out. Of course, this was the Attitude Era. Before it became WWE, it was WWF. And for me, that was wrestling, like, that whole time. Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Mankind, Big Show, Kane, Undertaker. The list goes on and on. That was just, to me, the greatest era of wrestling, period. But I know a lot of people like the Winged Eagle. My only issue with that belt, and I had owned one previously, was that it's too small. That's the only thing with me. I do like this one because it's a lot bigger, and I think that's the reason they made this belt, was for because it was bigger and they needed it to fit bigger wrestlers. So that's pretty cool. And then we're gonna get into the review in a second. Get some better lighting. I wanted to get some outdoor shots of it, kind of get it in the sunlight. The sun kind of comes up now. It's gonna really hit the belt and hit the nugget textured areas, which I really like. And again, this is a belt from Aliana's. Facebook, you'll find them under Altair Belts. I'll leave the name in the description, and you can look them up. So let's crack on into the review. And if you would like, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps us out if you like content like this. And watch our weekly videos on Tuesday. But yeah. Alright. What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to show y'all my new WWF scratch logo Big Eagle, white painted. I got this from Aliana's, or Altair Belts, HD plates, 4.2 millimeters. See how thick that is. I mean, this thing is awesome, dude. There's not much I can say. I did an unboxing previously, but nothing compares to, I don't know, having this in hand and kind of going over it in sunlight. Has cubic zirconias. He says Swarovskis, but they look like cubics to me. I'm not an expert, but they look really nice. Nugget texturing. And this is on Ali's new Brazilian leather. I have no clue what his old leather was like, but this is what he's getting from Brazil now. This is new leather. Also new plating. So it's like a better gold. There's a stamp right here. Let's see that. Altair Belts. It looks like it says Altair Belts. Like it's missing an R. That's just how he does that. I don't know why. This actually does have tooling in it. You can't really see it, but it has that faint Jamar style dotting texture on the snap boxes on both sides. can kind of see it there as the light hits it. It's on this other side too. He's using a textured pair. That's what I heard you could use. I know the dotting, a lot of belt makers have a headache trying to get that texture in the snap boxes, but it's easier if you use a textured pair to kind of get that in there. You can kind of see where it's kind of dented or dimpled into the leather. Property plate, JMR 2K. I mean, this thing is awesome. Floppy, extremely floppy leather. Soft too, it's really soft. But it's not too floppy, it's got a firmness to it that's really like strong. Smooth black backing, it's really smooth. Smoothest leather I've ever held. My previous belt, if you see my video, the crumb rind I had, it had like a vinyl backing. It was cracking all over the place, coming apart. On this belt, turn back over, the edges are burnished and sealed. So you can kind of see that, which I'd never seen before. Usually when I had belts, they would be peeling off the backing from the actual main belt or the main leather. It's perfectly burnished and sealed. There's no rips or anything in it. Tears, bubble marks, none of that. I told Ollie to actually do this, where he puts a nugget texturing in the shoulder. He doesn't actually do that. A lot of makers don't for some reason. Classic Shields does, but I saw this and I was like, dude, can you do this for me? And he said, yeah, no problem. And Ollie is such a great pleasure to talk to. I mean, as far as communication goes, he's the best. You can't go wrong with Ollie or Altair Belts. His communication, like, he'll message you right away. A lot of times with makers, you'll message him and not hear back from him for months. That's my experience with Classic Shields, which is why I don't really like doing business with them. They're good people, but the communication is key for me. So I do like the nugget texturing in the wings or the shoulders. Coming down, I know the blue on the globes looks dark. I specially requested him to kind of do darker globes. I just think it looks better personally. I know it's not screen accurate, but I wanted this to look like the Figures Inc. scratch logo replica belt that came out in 2001. A lot of people had those. Those things have skyrocketed in price for good reason. I think, to my mind, they're like one of the best replicas ever made. They only have 2mm plating and there's no nugget texturing, but other than that, it's a beautiful looking replica. But I like the way the globes looked on that. And I know it comes out darker in video and in pictures, but in person, it's actually like a very bright blue. And if you have the Figures Inc. Replica, you'll know what I'm talking about. Coming over to this plate, I know this isn't accurate as well. This should be red, but I requested it to be blue. As you know, with JMR, or Joe Marshall, the guy who actually made the Big Eagle, he never makes any of his belts the same. They're all different from belt to belt. So I've seen one where it actually looked just like this, except it had it like spaghetti-o tooling. I call it spaghetti-o tooling. I don't know what it's called. It's a JMR style tooling that's like on the Undisputeds. It's like the little bubble looking texture. I call it spaghetti-o tooling, but I don't know what the correct word is for that. But on one of the JMR belts, he had the darker globes, and he had the banner underneath the McMahon family crest. That's what this is. It's an arm holding a sword or a dagger. I never knew that. I never knew what this was. But yeah, and it says, you can read there how crystal clear that is, and that's HD. That's what you're going to get with an HD product. This will be clear. It says sic no sic sacra tumor. I don't know what that means. Over here, this will also be clear on an HD belt. This is Campio, champion in Latin. And over here it says Saeculum. Saeculum, I don't know if I'm saying that right. That just means century, so it translates to champion of the century. Those will be clear on an HD belt. Also coming up here, the TM will be clear on HD belt. Look out for that. And the registered trademark will come up clear as well. So the World Wrestling Federation. Oh, I can't read all of a sudden. And the champion banner. Look how deep that etching is. This from a distance is so deep it looks like a relief piece sometimes. It's perfectly painted. The paint, dude, on this thing is just better than my Winged Eagle I had before. Better than my Crumrine. Man, just the way the light hits that, you can really see that texture of the snap boxes now. Yeah, well, that's all I got. Told you guys I would do a review for this, and I'm just glad you guys can see it. I mean, this thing is phenomenal, dude. So yeah, hit up Ollie on us. Definitely go on Facebook. It's just Altair Belts, and you can't go wrong with this guy. Fair warning, he's gonna tell you anything you want to hear. You will get your belt, I promise you. It takes about 16 weeks, 3.5 months. You will get your belt, but he's gonna tell you anything you want to hear. Like when I was messaging him, my only complaint was that I would ask him any updates on belt, and he would message me back saying, yeah, it's gonna ship this Monday. And Monday came and went. Hey man, any updates on the belt? Oh yeah, it's Saturday. Saturday comes and goes. And he's gonna do that. I don't know why he does that. I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, just be honest and say, you know, hey, you know, I'm still working on your belt. It's gonna get done. Just be patient, bro. Like anything like that would have been fine. But don't lie, man. That's the big thing with me. And that's one of the things you're going to experience with Ollie. If he sees this, just don't do that, man. Just be straightforward with the customer. Just tell him what's going on. But all right, guys, that's all I got. Until next time, slack off.